Hello, this is Dr. Oz. In this video, I would like to show you how to calculate Sharpe ratio and standard deviation. So to be able to do this, first of all, please go to our class Blackboard page and scroll down and find measures of variability. And then here you should be able to find two data files. One, Apple 5 years data. Click on it, download. And then two, you should be able to download the Tesla file, download. Now, once you do that, what you can do is go to your downloads, and here you can see these two data files. So I will just open them. Okay. And then here, what I would like to do is I would like to save this data files as an Excel file. So I'll click Save As. And then here I will call this as 7 Sharpe Ratio standard deviation calculation. Excel. Perfect. So I saved this Apple file. You can see the file right here. And this is uh, it's not shown here, but this date is here. The latest date is here, July 18, 2025. And oldest date is 2020 data. Okay. This is for Apple. So now what I would like to do is I will just double click here to change the name of the worksheet to Sharpe Ratio. And then this is my Apple column. And I will go to my Tesla data and click on letter A, Control C, and then go back to my file, Excel file that I just was working on, and Control V. And this is my Tesla data. Okay. Now I can delete the Tesla CSV file, or close it, I should say. And you can see that Apple and Tesla are two different columns and it's the Excel file. Okay, and Control S to save it. So now what I would like to do is I would like to calculate Apple daily percent return. And I will copy that, Control C, Control V. And I would like to calculate the same thing for Tesla. And this is the most recent data, and this is 1 day ago, and so on. So to be able to calculate percent returns, what I need to do is equals to current price of the Apple divided by yesterday's price of Apple minus 1, because that's the principle. I'm just trying to calculate the return or the profit portion. Press enter. So you can see that this is the return, daily return for Apple, and you can click on it, and then you can see here percent button, and then you can increase decimals here as well. So as you can see, these returns are the 3 digits, 0.5% roughly. Okay, 0.55%. So now I can just drag this one to the right to calculate same thing for Tesla, and right down corner, black cross, double click to copy the formula down, Control Shift down arrow. And you can see that we cannot calculate last 2 days because there is no previous data. So highlight those, press delete. These are daily percent returns. And if I just scroll up, click one of those data points, Control Shift down arrow, you can see that we have 1,254 trading days. It's roughly, if it's like 250 days or so, 252 days on average per year, working days. So this is like around 6 years of data. Okay. Okay. So now what I would like to calculate is that I would like to calculate the average, average or mean, same thing. Apple mean or average daily return percent. And I would like to calculate the same thing for Tesla as well. Okay. So all I need to do is here take average of Control Shift down arrow Apple column and then click on it, right down corner, black cross, drag it to right. So you can see average daily return for Tesla for last 6 years was 0.17%. And for Apple, it was 0.08%. So Tesla was pretty much double. Now what I need to do is also calculate Apple standard deviation and Tesla standard deviation. So these are all for daily data. To be able to do that, this value equals to standard deviation of the sample, right down corner, sorry, Control Shift down arrow, enter. That's my standard deviation. And I can, under Home tab, decrease number of decimals by clicking on this comma. Let's increase decimals by 1. So 0.19, and I can just drag it to Tesla. So you can see these are standard deviation values. Now I need to calculate my daily risk-free rate. And here you need to look at the risk-free rate for 10 years and then adjust it to daily value. So how do I do that? You can go to Google and ask for 10-year treasury bond, and current debt is around 4%. So the 10-year treasury bond, 4% mean that it annualized giving you 4% coupons every year. So what I would like to do is I would like to convert that 4% into from yearly to daily data. So to be able to do that, this is the formula. One is the principal plus annual return, which is 0.04 for 10-year treasury annualized. Now I would like to make this value per day. So to do that, we think about compounding effect. So the power will be, in parentheses, 1 over, there are 252 working days in a given year. Okay. So again, 1 plus annualized return for 10-year treasury bond for US. And then the power will be, in 1 year, we have 252 working days. So that's the power, 1 over 252. And since we added the one principal here, we subtract that one principal at the end to just look at the return for daily return for risk-free rate. And this is the number right here, percent. Say we want to also show 3 decimals, okay? 0.16. Perfect. So in other words, Tesla returned more than 10 times of that daily, and Apple returned more, around 5 times of that value. Perfect. Now what I would like to do is calculate the Sharpe ratio. Maybe I would just calculate the Sharpe ratio right here. Apple Sharpe daily, I should say daily Sharpe ratio. Then we'll do the same thing, Tesla daily Sharpe ratio. Top left corner to select the entire worksheet, go between any two letters. When you see the symbol, you can double click to adjust the width. So the Sharpe ratio is nothing more than daily return for Apple divide, sorry about that, excess return. So daily return for Apple in parentheses minus risk-free rate. So how much additional return do we generate by investing in Apple last 6 years in this example? Divide by the standard deviation of Apple. So this is our Sharpe ratio. which is 0.03. I can increase decimal by like this. And let's do the same calculation for Tesla. In parentheses, Tesla's return was daily this, minus risk-free rate was this, and then divide by standard deviation of Tesla right there. So the higher this number is, the better it is. As you can see, Tesla had better risk-adjusted return. Even though Tesla's return was like pretty much two times of Apple, but risk-adjusted return is not two times. It's just around maybe 16, 17% better because the volatility of Tesla is much greater, almost more than double of Apple. So we take more than double risk and we get around double return. Okay, a little bit more than double return. Perfect. So now if you want to annualize this, I would just copy this, Control C, Control V, again, top left corner between any two letters, double click. So now I will, instead of do daily, I will do annual and annual. Adjust the width. So to annualize this, I need to multiply this value by square root of number of working days in a given year is around 252. Okay, so this is the annualized Sharpe ratio, which is 0.54, and for Tesla this value is 0.62. So if these values are less than 1, in general perceived as not that good, and more than 1 is good, and if it's more than 1.5 is really really good. So for Apple and Tesla themselves, perhaps not the best because their adjusted return is less than 1. However, this is pretty normal because for individual stocks, because in general what we do is we put portfolio of stocks together like 8, 10, 15, 20, sometimes even more, that are less correlated to decrease the standard deviation of the portfolio significantly without sacrificing too much on the return to maximize the Sharpe ratio. That's it for this video. Until next video, enjoy analytics.